You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Wednesday, June 10th. I'm Johnny Kahner. Thanks for watching and listening to Four Things to Know today. Let's get to our top story. New numbers from the city of Minneapolis show that Operation Metro Surge cost the city, residents, and businesses nearly $700 million. City leaders say the federal government's immigration enforcement from December through April forced many businesses to close, cost millions in lost wages, and traumatized neighborhoods. They say the Central and Whittier neighborhoods were the most affected by ICE activity. Today, we heard from impacted local business owners. Jennifer Jackson owns Prima Italian in South Minneapolis, and Daniel Hernandez owns Colonial Markets.
Customers just decided it was not safe to come into the city for dinner. And then the bills don't get paid, but you want to make sure your employees get paid. And so as a small business owner, you use your funds to float the business.
Right now, Colonial Market is closed in South Minneapolis, but we still believe in Minneapolis. We still believe in our leaders, and we're going to invest and reinvest in Minneapolis over and over again. I might be in the floor right now, but I know I'm going to go up again because the city is behind me, God is behind me, and my family is behind me.
The city of Minneapolis is giving out $10 million in emergency rental assistance and business support to help local entrepreneurs. And last week, nearly 1,200 businesses started getting license fee refunds. But the mayor still says the city, county, state, and federal government need to do more to help those affected by Operation Metro Surge. Your second thing to know today, we had a wild night of severe weather. Now, some homeowners are still digging out of the debris and damage left by those strong storms. And with more expected this evening, the clock is ticking to get that work done. Adam Duxter is in Minneapolis, where one tree landed right on top of Mary Solak's home.
And this is certainly cause to not only wake you up, but to keep you up. This is in the Como neighborhood of Minneapolis. You can see crews have been working all morning long, but there still is a good portion of that massive tree, more than 40 years old, that boulevard tree that went smashing through the second story of this home. The homeowner says she was actually up trying to close that window when the tree went through, and she said she heard the tree come down, she heard the glass come down, and she knew, man, there was going to be a big mess. And there is a giant hole in the side of this house right now, and they want to get that patched up and boarded up as soon as they can. But really, the homeowner says she's just grateful she's okay. She actually had a really good attitude. We spoke with her a moment ago. Here's what she had to say about the whole thing.
I heard a bump and I heard the glass falling. And when you hear the glass and you realize stuff's coming through the window, you know you got a problem. I've had a lot of stuff happen in my lifetime. As long as there's not a dead body at the end of it, just go with it. Well, it always needed to be fixed. I guess we fix it now.
Just a good reminder, it's all just stuff, but in all reality, ahead of that rain coming in tonight, they really want to get this boarded up.
Great attitude there and good perspective. Last year, actually, we had a tree fall on our home. So I know exactly what that was like. That was so scary, just the loudest noise you can imagine sleeping. And last night, like Adam said, I woke up from thunder as well. So big impacts right now throughout the state. And that brings us to number 3 today. We are right now under a next weather alert for this evening as well. So let's check in now on our next weather forecast.
Hey guys, next weather meteorologist Adam Del Rosso checking in. We've got that next weather alert in place as we head into this evening for the potential for some severe thunderstorms, especially along and east of the I-35 corridor. That's where we have the greatest chance for damaging straight line winds, hail, and even a few tornadoes can't be rolled out. Once we get after 10 o'clock tonight, things start to quiet back down, and it's not going to feel as hot or as humid once we get rid of these storms. Overnight low temperatures only going to be falling back into the low to mid 60s, so still above average, but we're not going to climb as much tomorrow. High temperatures into the afternoon will be into the mid 70s. We do have the opportunity for a few spotty showers again tomorrow afternoon. Thankfully, nothing severe. Friday, we get rid of the rain chances altogether. We'll have some sunshine with high temperatures a lot more seasonable, right around 80.
Music to my ears. Get the humidity away. Man, oh man, tired of it. Let's get to our fourth thing to know today. We've seen it before in Minnesota. Young kids stealing cars and committing crimes. But come August 1st, a new law means kids under 13 years old cannot be prosecuted. That means, of course, 10, 11, and 12-year-olds will be referred to social services instead. Some Minnesota counties worry, though, that they are not equipped to handle situations involving children who've committed violent offenses. For example, there are concerns about finding the right place to house a child if they are a danger to themselves or the community. Though Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty says they are ready for the change, and she argues that often kids don't face charges and are instead found unable to stand trial under the current system. So that means they just walk out the door with no services.
We need to get them the help that they need so that they don't continue to cause that type of harm.
The Minnesota Department of Corrections says the state will be offering training to the courts and law enforcement agencies about these new law changes. The DOC says they are also working with facilities on how they might continue to work with that age group if they are interested in doing so. Those are the 4 things to know today.
And now, here's more to know.
A man is in custody after an hours-long standoff in South Minneapolis. This all started yesterday morning at about 11:30. It began at an apartment building on West 28th Street and Nicollet Avenue. Deputies were trying to serve an arrest warrant for 31-year-old Tyler Joseph O'Brien. When they got there, they heard multiple shots fired and then retreated. But then police learned a woman and child were in that same apartment building. They were able to get out safely while O'Brien barricaded himself inside. Hennepin County Sheriff Dewana Witt, who you will hear from in just a moment, she says about an hour into that standoff, O'Brien told authorities he had pulled the pin on an explosive device and was willing to throw it. Deputies had used a drone to find O'Brien, but he had actually shot that down. They did eventually contact him by phone, and then O'Brien surrendered.
This could have ended up much differently. And I am so grateful for the professionalism of our law enforcement professionals being able to end this incident safely.
Law enforcement did not fire a weapon during the 8-hour standoff, and thankfully, there were no injuries. To a tragic story we're following, 2 women were involved in a head-on crash last night in Chisago City. The State Patrol reported that one of those women died and the other suffered life-threatening injuries. We do not have an update on her condition right now. Troopers say 75-year-old Rebecca Freedom of St. Croix Falls crossed the center line and collided with a car driven by 65-year-old Jane Martins of Egan. Freedom died at the scene. It happened on Highway 8 and 270th Street just after 8:30. Happening today, the St. Paul City Council will honor the lives and legacies of former House Speaker Melissa Hortman, her husband Mark, and their dog Gilbert. It's been nearly a year since all 3 were killed in what prosecutors call a politically motivated attack. Today, a resolution will be introduced to proclaim June 14th as Mark, Melissa, and Gilbert Hortman Day in St. Paul. That's exactly 1 year since they were assassinated in their home. The council will hear that resolution this afternoon at 3:30. We'll, of course, have more on that tonight on WCCO News. We have an update on a fishy and smelly problem on a Twin Cities lake. You may remember on the show last week, we talked about a big problem on Como Lake in St. Paul. Wildlife officials say thousands of bluegills and crappies died. Now, typically, they do not remove the fish. They just let nature take its course. However, this time, they say the stench, it was just too strong, so they pulled out some of the dead fish. They do say there is no impact to the water quality. This is a nice story today. Out at Target Field, an opportunity that you have to help children around the world get the nutrition they need. It's actually happening tomorrow as well. You can work with Feed My Starving Children. They're hosting a Pack at the Park event. Their goal is to put together 1 million meals in just 2 days. Thousands of volunteers are headed over there. These meals will be sent all over the world. Get this, places like Sudan, Haiti, and other communities across the globe that are facing hunger. Volunteers 5 years old and up are welcome to join. Still plenty of spots available to help out today and tomorrow. Now, if you'd like to learn more, just visit this website, fmsc.org. That's fmsc.org to sign up for a packing time. Let's get to some sports headlines. Day 2 of mandatory minicamp for the Minnesota Vikings. It's a time when a lot of team building progress can be made, or so the team says all of that. But for the quarterback competition, that's what everyone really is digging into right now. And for the quarterbacks themselves, they say it's just about making the most of their reps as they share the workload. Now, of course, the addition of Kyler Murray, that's given J.J. McCarthy an uphill climb, to say the least, for the starter's job. Yesterday, he was asked by ESPN's Kevin Seifert if he ever thought about a trade out of Minnesota.
I think I made it very clear I wanted to be here before I got here. And I love this organization. I love the coaching staff. I absolutely love these players to death. This is where I want to be. I feel like I can thrive in this system. And, it's just, everything played out exactly how I wanted it. I wouldn't want anything else to change.
Well, there you have it. And of course, the Vikings seems like always have to deal with quarterback injuries, or so, at least in recent years. So JJ, even though he probably won't get the starter job, very well could find himself back on the field this year. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And speaking of football, the Gopher football team, they held their annual summer media availability yesterday. The number one question, it was directed at their starting quarterback, Drake Lindsey. It was about an underage alcohol issue he had this season back home in Arkansas.
As the leader of the football team, I understand I can't make those decisions. I've certainly grown a lot from them and learned a lot. I apologize to the administration, our staff, all the players, and I'll certainly grow from this and continue to.
Fun Stanley Cup Finals so far. Carolina made it 2-2 last night. Now it heads over to Raleigh for Game 5. A local even got in on the action last night. Jackson Blake, who played at Eden Prairie, he scored a goal for Carolina. They beat Vegas in a thriller 5-3. Should be a fun ending to that series. Knicks and Spurs, Game 4 tonight in New York. A lot of celebrities going to be out there, of course.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
We know, of course, there's still a couple months to go until the Great Minnesota Get-Together, but you can actually replicate the magic in your own kitchen. Now, that is, of course, kind of up to your cooking skills, but the fair has published a new recipe book. It's called 50 Years of State Fair Recipes. It contains 100 blue ribbon winning recipes from different competitions that you can find at the fairgrounds. Now, you can buy the book online or at the fair, just $30. Now, it is a limited supply, so get yours while you can. That'd be fun to make all those fun different foods they have out there. Last year, I had such a good time at the fair. It seems like the weather the last couple years has been much better out there. Maybe I'm just spewing, but it was like 70 degrees, perfect. The only time I don't like the fair is when it just gets too hot out. That's just not as fun for me. But, oh man, that's actually a good gift idea too. State Fair cooking book. I'd love to give it a shot. I don't think I could do much, but you probably have to have a deep fryer and all sorts of butter and grease. But anyways, give it a shot. Yeah, it's just $30. I'm Johnny Kahner. You've been watching and listening to 4 Things to Know today. We, of course, are here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks so much for listening today. Stay safe tonight with that weather coming. We are still under that next weather alert. Have a good rest of the night.
Listen to 4 Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.